I just built this lithium ion pack. So this is my first flight testing it, so I don't know if it's going to work. It is very heavy. I have seen people use the Flywheel Explorer with these. It does overload the system a little bit, but I'm just always been excited to try this out, so let's give it a go. I think it just tilts a lot easier because the whole center of gravity's changed. It's like top heavy now. So it's just a lot of throttle and just don't tilt it. So I'm just going to fly around here. A lot noisier, that's for sure. Far less direct flight. Like if I'm turning a corner, just like the inertia on this thing is just terrible. Yeah, it's very like strange flight characteristics. Nothing like a normal drone. I feel like I don't have as much control. This is the first time I'm sort of doing like around the trees kind of flight with this drone, because that's not what it's really made for. There we go, a bit of a gust and it's fine. That's the one positive here. Because it's heavier, it's going to handle wind a little bit better. Sort of. With a lithium ion battery, you've got to change your battery settings. Like my low battery warning is set to 3.1 volts and my minimum voltage is set to 3 volts. Okay, I'm getting the hang of the flight characteristics now. It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm running the throttle higher, so on this particular drone, on the 4-inch micro long range, this is going to wear out the motors over time. So as much as I want this to be my permanent setup, like if I can get the flight time up to half an hour, I mean, that is just freaking awesome. But then I'll be replacing the motors quite often. So while I'm here, let's just talk about the VTX. I've set it to 1.8 watts. So it's not recommended for park flight because you're going to get, like here you can see that breakup is actually bouncing off things. So that's not very nice, but I am getting freaking cool penetration. Here, those trees at the end are like thick, wet leaves. And that is like a no-go for most drones. Now, if I drop down here, breakup. But in all my other drones, okay, that's 200 milliwatt drones, but I would completely lose signal. So you're getting good penetration. I'm really liking having this strong VTX. Like the sort of snap, crackle and pop of it bouncing off things around you is nice, but being able to just kind of fly behind me, like, which is not, and fairly far compared to my other drones. It's pretty cool. I'm only at 3.57 volts. Bit of wind here, so it's a nice little test to see, sort of like normal conditions, how this battery's going to do. Fortunately, didn't film myself making this battery. I just didn't expect it to go as well as it did. Thought I'd have a lot of trouble being a sort of newer builder of things, but I did quite well. It wasn't that difficult. I just made sure the blobs of solder were really big. And then I just softened a bit of solder, added a wire, softened a bit of solder, added a wire. And if the solder got too much, I just tried to like reduce it a little bit, added a lot of flux. And that was basically it. I was going to build a 6-inch long range as my next project, but like I'm wondering whether I shouldn't do like a little 5-inch freestyler with GPS and all the bells and whistles with like a big VTX like this. Just make like an all-purpose do everything drone. I think that'll be amazing. I think I've just decided that now. The penetration is ridiculous. Look at all the trees between me and the goggles. Oh, going with the wind, so nice. Okay, this is like, I'm an explorer pilot. Like this, for me, this is absolutely wonderful. Not a freestyler. This, friends, is the best thing ever. Don't let anyone tell you that these high VTXs are a waste of money or whatever. It's more expensive, but you definitely are getting better performance. You get diminishing returns, which is also true. But if you want the best signal possible, pay for a better VTX, a more powerful VTX. And like a lot of people say, there are no VTX, some VTXs aren't made equal, but this Foxeer is pretty damn good. It's pretty solid. I've got I've got a build video up of this if you want to check that out. So I can remember in the olden days, people were saying that this flew for half an hour. I've got a bit of wind, I guess. This is not the Flyway Explorer, and I've got those Darwin FPV motors on here. So, and they are not warm at all. Now these motors are doing really well, I gotta say. No heat, VTX is nice and cool. There was quite a bit of wind, but so in total 20 minutes flight time. That is a crap load of flight time. I mean, you know, I was hoping for half an hour, but I do need to go pick up my kids, so that's good. Otherwise, you know, I don't know, maybe with other batteries. These are the VTC6s, the Sony VTC6s. But I mean, 20 minutes flight time for a long range flight, that is just wonderful. So yeah, I can highly recommend this build with a lithium ion battery. 20 minutes. I'm like so happy.